Great. Hey, お願いします。Oh, up and down. Hey, side to side. Hey, use the shoulders. So, circles one way, circles the other way. Hey, arms. And back. So, one side, this side. Crossing one side, crossing the other side. Open and close. So, hey, guys, lucky. And back. Yoho. Tenchi. Hey, Yoko. Hey, you go. You go. Thank you. Go. So run forward. Down. Up again. So just remember, there's certain gestures that I kind of take for granted, and I don't know, hopefully people notice them enough, but you know how in the previous weeks we did the overhead squats in order to kind of fix our posture, and then maintain that sensation of the overhead squat position, in order to kind of come down into our Koshinage position. So as you know, the overhead squat is when you grab your jaw, okay, and then you put it basically aiming to put it above your head, so your shoulder blades get pulled back because the jaw is not in front of you, it's above you. And then from that position, you kind of basically find your squat as deep as you can in that mobility. But then the idea is, with that overhead squat, apart from challenging your squat, it just fixes your posture first, and then you proceed to do the squat. And then after that, we went to the front squat and so on. So in these warm-up exercises, when we do basically this motion here, when we open in this motion here, try to have the similar sensation. You open, raise your arms, pull your shoulder blades back as if you were doing an overhead squat, with your jaw on top. Okay, and then from that position, just basically hinge from your hip hinge, and then relax your arms, but don't let necessarily, at least not in the beginning, your shoulders to come down. So you eventually let your shoulders to come down in order to kind of try to reach for the floor and give yourself a stretch, but it's also an exercise of posture, okay? So raise your arms, pull your shoulders back. Imagine that you have your jaw over your head, leaning forward. Then relax your arms, but try to keep that sensation of your posture for a few seconds, and then you can let go, and then try to reach to the floor. Okay, so remember, all the things that we do are not things that we do every now and again. Like for example, we don't do the overhead squat all the time. We don't do the front squat all the time. So those things that we've been studying the last few weeks. But we do exercises that bring the awareness of those of the same things all the time. Okay, so we do this exercise in warm up every time. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we don't repeat the same exercises like the overhead squat in every single session, but just try to find which exercises we do, which we do them, that actually stay there and have the same message in every single session. Okay, so once again, hands up. Okay, and moving forward, keep your posture. Hands down, don't lose your posture. And relax. Now you can go all the way down, or as much as you can, for a bit of a stretch. Hey, and your knees, front and back. Remember last week when we did the squat series. So if you didn't watch that, the video from last week is the one that has the squats, the entire squat series. So you can have a look at that one when you have time. Circles one way, circles the other way. So, and down, up, down, up, down. Open your toes. Up, down, up, down. Hey, breathing in. Go. Keep. Go. And keep. Go. So, up. And in your hips. And shake. Go. Rock. Catch. Good. You this time a little bit slower and try to hold and open up. One. To the side, try to open, hold and open up. Two. Slowly, all open up. Three. One, hold, open up. Four. Hold, open up. Five. One more. Hold, open up. And 6. Go your legs, go over your hips, open your knees, remember. Hands inside. Pivoting to one side. Hey, pivoting to the other side. Hey, holding your toes, raising your head, and hips up. Spine up. Keep your posture once again, and your hips. And this side. So, open your legs. Lowering to one side. And the other side. Toes up. And the other side. Hands in front. The other side. Side to side. So, your legs, elbows down. Legs in, hands down. And side to side. Down Coming forward. Hips back. Forward again. And hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. And back. One side. The other side. One side. The other side. One side. The other side. Side to side. So, all right, sitting down, please. Let's work a little bit with our core muscles. So, remember, depending what's your. So, one important thing to, again, to self-evaluate. When we talk about core muscles, we are not talking necessarily just about the front abdominal muscles. It kind of gets worse. The front abdominal top level muscles, sometimes we have such a narrow definition of that, and then we have, we think about core muscles, we think about the front abdominal muscles and sometimes only of the top front abdominal muscles, as opposed to the lower front abdominal muscles, the laterals, and the lower back muscles, which they are all integrating into your core. So if some people has a condition where for whatever reason the front abdominal muscles are not great, are not really in a position to be strengthened for whatever reason, that does not preclude us from working on the lateral muscles and the lower back muscles. Okay. In actual fact, for our purpose, for the purpose of training, if anything, the lower back muscles are more important because those are the ones that protect and contain the spine, which then is what helps us to have safer ukemi, and then is what helps us to maintain the spine in place in order to do tai sabaki and technique properly. Okay, so anyway, so long explanation to say, don't freak out if you think that you don't have strong abdominal muscles. You probably don't have strong top abdominal muscles, but there is plenty of work to do on the sides and on your lower back. Okay, so first of all, just raising your hands, raising your legs, most basic exercise for the moment. Sometimes even that exercise, this exercise is very good because it's very flexible in terms of how much you can do with it. If a person has no abdominal muscles at all, they can start just by raising, or if they have some injury, they start just by raising one leg and then raising the other leg, raising one leg and then raising the other leg. So that's how, flexible the exercise is. So in this case, let's assume that we can both legs up, both hands up. Okay. So now this action in itself is already hopefully somehow asking our core muscles to engage. So now let's go for opposite sides. So 1, extending, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now same side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest. Okay. So there's a multiple ways in which you can adapt the dead bug to make it more to make it more and more challenging. Okay, so you can have weights and so on, but just start with a good number of repetitions of that exercise is good. Okay, next one, we're going to practice obviously our plank. If your shoulders are causing you grief, then you can try the lower plank. Otherwise, you can try the high plank. Okay, if any of those are not okay, then go back again and do the dead bug position. If you are giving a rest to your shoulders and you are not really wanting to put any pressure on your upper body. Okay. Otherwise, gonna come into a plank position. Make sure that your core muscles are engaged. your shoulders are rolled forward and just holding in this position for 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, is that 30? That was very quickly, isn't it? And put down. Maybe I cut out 10 somewhere, okay? But anyway, so your planks, you can never really do too much of it. It's always a very basic exercise. It's very good because it holds your spine in place and obviously keep you in place. Next one, your side plank. Okay, so you come down, okay, onto your arm, okay, and down. Okay, on this one, you're going to put your hip down and raise it up. Put your hip down and raise it up. Once again, if you have problems on the shoulders, your shoulder may not like the position if you don't have a good alignment with your shoulders. So just do as much as you can on whatever side is comfortable. Okay. So side plank, raising up, going down, and raising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's helps us do our side core muscle activity. To the side, okay, and raising up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Okay, so now your upper back and your lower back. Okay, first of all, your upper back. Put your hands in 90 degrees. Okay, up. Okay, and now you're going to extend your arms, pull them towards you, down. Extend your arms, pull them towards you, and down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. So I'm just giving you a little bit of the most basic exercises for your core, fronts, laterals, and back, and then so to have a kit of things that we can do when we want to have time and have some time to kind of exercise our core. Next one, okay, it will be your Superman flies. Okay, so you're going to raise your hands in front, you're going to raise your arms, and you're going to raise your legs, okay, and relax them down. Okay, raise your arms, raise your legs, and down. Depending what your condition of your lower back is, you may not be able to do arms and legs at the same time, so you may only do arms and down, arms and down. Okay, so if you're not feeling very secure with your lower back, only do the arms. If you're feeling a little bit better, do both arms and legs. Okay, so 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 10, down. Good, and relax. Okay, bend one leg, open your arms, and turn to one side. And stretch again. Bend the other leg, turn to the side, stretch to one side. And again, bend, and turn, stretch, one side, bend, turn, stretch, the other side. Hands in front, and back stretch. All right, so now, Bushido Kemi. So this whole week, we've been focusing on very slowly and hopefully mindfully engaging our core muscles, lowering our hips, and curving our spine. We mentioned that because though we are talking about Koshi Wasa, the month where we pay special attention to our hip and associated hip techniques like Koshinage, but not necessarily. We were talking about how Koshiwasa is a little bit of shorthand for really a more important principle, which is the idea of Tai Sabaki, correct Tai Sabaki. So on our Tai Sabaki, our lower body, our core, and our upper body are working in harmony in Aiki, but with a strong element of our lower body leading the movement, our central part of our body, being a good, efficient transferer of energy, so the upper body can do the job that it has to do, which is to keep shapes and produce directions and things like that. So in this case, engage your core muscles, lower your hips, start like curving your spine in order to protect your ukemi, and taking ukemi, basic sideways backwards draw. Engage core muscles, lower hip, curve your back, and Ushido ukemi. Okay, so let's start just with that first. Okay, engage core muscles, lower your hips, curve your back, Ushido ukemi. Engage core muscles, lower hips, curve back, Ushido ukemi. Engage core muscles, lower hips, curve back, Ushido ukemi. Engage core muscles, lower hips, curve your back, Ushido ukemi. All right, now let's try same thing but with Yoko ukemi, but at the moment same procedure. Engage core muscles, lower hips, curve back, Yoko ukemi. And 1, each, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. But now, remember, in the process of meeting Uke and Nage, both Uke and Nage are using the same principles from a variety of angles, so the same physical principles to start with. Okay, both are trying to arrive to the moment of meeting with the hips down. Both are trying to arrive with the core muscles engaged. Both are trying to arrive with their spine leading the movement. So both are arriving to that part. So in a sense, you could think that it's almost like an equals meeting. What happens is that through better understanding of these things, plus other things such as timing and breathing and things like that, one of the two individuals basically takes control over the body of the other individual and leads the movement. Okay, so the control is going to remain in one of the two individuals. It's not going to be equal in the motion in the dance of Uke and Nage. Uke or Nage are going to, one of them is going to take control of the encounter and lead the motion of the encounter. So in our practice, typically we think that Nage is the one that always does this, but not necessarily. That's why more experienced Ukes can reach the point of meeting and then somehow set the terms of it. Okay, sometimes the terms is to take ukemi, like when I train with Morono Sensei. Sure, we meet, we arrive at the same point. I'm sure I am Nage, but he takes he sets the tone of the terms of the encounter. He takes ukemi on his own terms. So that's and that is just because his structure and his experience is greater than mine. So that's the way that it always happens. So it's not obvious that Nage always does that. The person with the best set of capacities does that. Okay, so anyway, the important thing is to remember, especially as Ukes, that's what you're doing. You're arriving to a point with your hips down, with your core muscles engaged, with your spine active. Now, if your partner is doing the same, plus a few other things in a better form, then they will dominate the encounter and take it. If you are doing it, then the ukemi should be within your own terms. Still take ukemi, but within your own terms. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, but this time Nage, you're arriving with your core muscles, you're right here, but Nage manages to dominate your spine. Okay. So they are actually taking your spine. They're extending your spine. They're not letting you curve and protect. They're taking your spine, and then you're taking ukemi. Okay. So arrive there, core muscles engaged, extend your spine, and take ukemi. Lower your hips, engage core muscles, extend your spine. Take it, Kenny. Lower your hips, engage core muscles, extend your spine. Lower hips, engage core muscles, extend your spine. All right. So now this time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to finish with the legs on 90 degrees. Please remember, it's a very good exercise to remind us of having our core muscles engaged. It is not the point to engage the core muscles at the end, because the core muscles must be engaged at the beginning for the sake of the meeting, to see who is going to determine the encounter, for the sake of protecting your spine in the moment that you are taking ukemi. So the fact that we're going to finish here, and there is a strong core muscle engagement here, doesn't mean that you engage your core muscles here. That's too late. Okay, that's just for show. Let's say that would be just for show. It's more important to engage your core muscles at the beginning to set the terms of the encounter, in the middle to protect your spine, and then at the end to have your legs up. But that's really the less relevant of the three actions, okay? So engage core muscles, spine up, hold goes up again. Okay, engage core muscles, spine up, keep engaged, and at the end. Engage core muscles, spine up, keep engagement. Engage core muscles, spine up, keep engagement. Thank you. Core muscles, spine up, engagement. Good, the other side. Ready? 1, 3, 2, 3. So, 4, 3, 5. Oh. Okay, now this time. So let's move on with guys. So anyway, so the important thing is try to do always as uke. Okay, remember these principles are universal, meaning that they apply as much as uke. This is the thing. All principles of Aikido are universal, Senosen, Kokyu, Taisabaki, Koshiwaza, etc. So they are universal in the sense that they apply to both uke and nage. And then when you are uke, you are still refining those same principles. So when your turn to nage comes, hopefully those principles are better understood and properly practiced, and then you can truly take control of the encounter and lead the encounter, okay? But that doesn't happen very often. The problem is that uke sometimes is just, as Moreno Sensei correctly says, just being a ragdoll, and then they never really nourish anything on themselves, and then nage never really has to do anything, and then they switch roles, and the whole vicious cycle maintains, okay? So please remember that. But now, lower your hips, core muscles engaged, and keep your hand in front of your body. Your forearm represents your spine. Okay, we mentioned this a few times during the week. Okay, when you do a Soto Tenkan and your partner pulls your arm back and you are not properly aligned, what is going to suffer is your balance, is your spine. Okay, so try to keep your balance, your hand in front of you. Okay, so lower your hip, engage your core muscles, Soto Tenkan. Keep your hand in front. Lower your hips, engage core muscle, Soto Tenkan, and in front. Lower hips, engage core muscles, Soto Tenkan, and in front. Lower your hips, core muscles, Soto Tenkan, and in front. So now, it's super easy, well, it should be super easy. We keep the hand in front of us, and we are doing it by ourselves, right? It becomes a challenge when I have a partner grabbing me and really trying to take that hand away from me. So the best we can do when we're in solo is to practice a little bit of isometric. So grab your hand, try to pull it away from your center, prevent the other hand from moving away from your center, so you know there is going to be tension in front of you. Okay, be comfortable with the tension, know that there is going to be tension, maintain your hand in front of your center. Lower your hips and Soto Tenkan. The other side. Lower your hips, Soto Tenkan. The other side. Lower your hips, Soto Tenkan. The side. Lower hips, Soto Tenkan. Okay, so remember, your spine is down, your core muscles are engaged, and your hand is in front of you, with your forearm is representing your spine. That's why when we do Yoko Menuchi, and the partner enters, let's say here, and stops my Jokomen before completing, my reaction is to lose my balance because my hand now is not in front of me anymore. It's behind me, my spine is compromised, and then the partner comes and does whatever he or she is practicing on that day. All right, so now, waza, okay? Waza with the same principle. Ikkyo omote. Enter, lower your hips, okay? Enter, lower your hips. Enter, lower your hips. Enter, lower your hips. Very important to lower your hips, use your spine. Lower your hips, use your spine. If you study some of the videos that are, especially the EQ videos from Marino Sensei in the members area, you can see how he lowers his hip, uses his spine, and presents himself in this position all the time when he does his EQs, okay? So lower your hip, use your spine, keep your eyes up. Lower your hip, use your spine, keep your eyes up. Lower your hip, keep your eyes up. Lower your hips, use your spine. Lower your hips, use your spine, okay? So lower your hips, use your spine when presenting, okay? Yeah, so number one, number two, engage your core muscles. Engage your core muscles. And your core muscles engage. Engage core muscles. Engage core muscles. Engage. Now, number three, maintain that engagement through the process of technique. Lower hips, spine, engage core muscles, and EQ. Lower hip, spine, engage core muscles, EQ. Lower hips, spine, core muscles, EQ. Lower hips, engage spine, core muscles. Okay. One thing that is difficult, and you need to study that on your own, is how to maintain core muscle engagement while talking and breathing in and out. So we're joking during the week how there are many videos these days of very strong men, picking up, doing deadlifts, for example, with super heavy weights, which is already remarkable and in itself a feat, but they pick up the weight, put it down, and then they pass out. They faint. And asking Justin about why did he thought that happened, he thinks that it is because in the demand of raising a very heavy weight, they know they have to engage their core muscles. So they do that by inhaling and then holding the inhalation for as long as I carry the weight because the core muscles are engaged with the inhalation and then dropping it. Sometimes that is so long but so intense, the holding of the breath, that kind of pain makes them go funny and pass out. It is very difficult to maintain 100% core muscle engagement and then keep talking or keep doing other things. So how to maintain core muscle engagement with inhalation and exhalation is very important for us because obviously techniques take time. And the idea is not to hold your breath during all of that time. Okay, at some point you inhale, at some point you hold, at some point you exhale, but how do you maintain core muscle engagement through the process of doing that? Okay, so this time we're going to do Ura, enter, lower your hips even more, and core muscles engaged, hand in front. Okay, you're going to step in, lower your hips, okay, keep your hand in front, and move to the side. Ura, okay, stepping in, lower your hips, core muscles engaged. Lower even more because you're going in Ura, and move to the side. Okay, stepping in, engage your core muscles, lower your hips, move to the side. Stepping in, lower your hips, move to the side. Stepping in, lower your hips, move to the side. Stepping in, lower your hips, move to the side. Stepping in, lower your hips, move to the side. Now, once again, just why the forearm and your spine has such a strong relation. The most common mistake, remember, of Ikkyo Ura is to do a tug of war, to separate your spine from the point of contact and then to try to drag the person. If your forearm is on your partner's elbow, that means your spine is on your partner's elbow. And if now you move with your spine aligned to your body. If your body moves away from the point of contact, now your forearm and your spine are in two different places. Your forearm is here, your spine is here. And now it's going to be difficult to drag the person in. That's why when you do this exercise, you enter, you lower. Remember, your forearm is aligned to your spine. Keep them aligned. Don't separate that alignment. Okay? Enter, down, forearm in front of you, slide. Keep them aligned. Do not separate. Okay? So, to the side, up, down, forearm in front of you. Keep it aligned. Do not separate your spine. Okay? Down, lower. Keep them in front. Keep them aligned. The reason why it separates, remember, because the feet can move really quickly. You know, the feet can move really quickly from one side to the other. So it's very easy to go, you know, and then leave the thing behind and then drag it. So we have to be patient and have working harmony between our upper body and our lower body. So let's just do that exercise side to side, so kuriashi. So okay, hold your jaw, lower in front of you. Okay, keep your forearm in front. Oh, kuriashi, keeping it in front. Up again. Up, lower yourself, keep the forearm in front of you. Oh, kuriashi. Up, lower in front of you, keep it in front. Oh, kuriashi. Up, lower in front of yourself, keep it in front. Oh, kuriashi. Okay? So now, up, engage core muscles, lower your hip, keep your spine aligned, in front, relax. Up, engage core muscles, lower your hips, keep it in front. Up, engage core muscles, lower your hips, keep it in front. Up, engage core muscles, lower your hips, keep it in front. Okay, so once again, most basic techniques, you know, are a constant reminder of these three principles. Okay, so possibly the most important thing we can do to maintain these ideas alive is to remember to continue practicing them 100% of the time in our training, which means 50% of the time when you're uke and 50% of the time when you are nage. And if you're uke, you know, and these things made you more effective participant in the encounter, then, you know, that's okay. Don't freak out. Here's the thing of, so don't freak out, but don't be proud either, in a sense, you know. Still take ukemi, just take it on your own terms, okay? And that's a good indication that your structure was better maintained than your partner's structure, okay? So still take ukemi, still respond with the mentality of being an uke, but know that now you're leading the encounter because your structure was better situated than the structure of your partner. And then improve as you become an knife, okay? Let's finish up. Ready? Hey, arigato gozaimashita. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. So.